So there's a great quote by Eckhart Tolle, who was a spiritual leader and the author of The Power of Now, which is a great book. And he says that this world is not meant to help us, it's meant to challenge us. And this is, if you look at the world and the way people act, in the way politicians act and react and make decisions that we don't understand, because everybody comes from different backgrounds and have different perceptions of the world, and because of that they make decisions that we don't understand, that we find almost idiotic, as it were. And the reason being is that not only are they in a stress state, they are actually, maybe they're kind of in a fight or flight state all the time, and this causes us to make stupid decisions, but we don't agree with it. It's the response that we have to these decisions that's really what we need to concentrate on and address. The problem is, once we actually understand that this world is meant to challenge us, not help us, then our perspective, we start to prioritize and we start to see that we have to take action on our own responses to the world. And we have to actually change it ourselves, change our responses to the world, because that's the biggest challenge. The problem is that we are told by media, mainly by media, newspapers, and whoever you're listening to, and maybe friends and stuff like that, that this world, we're told where this world is supposed to help us, and look at these things that are happening in the world. Look at these things in the world, and the media points us towards these things to say this is a travesty, this is terrible. Why are these people doing this? And it's there to get a response out of us, because they need to get us to watch. And the way to get us to watch is to shock us. And they will shock us by showing us these things to tell us that this world should not be like this, and yet this is happening. How dare these people do this? And because of it, we react to it in anger ourselves. We start to comment more, and we start to raise the profile of that news. The problem is, we can't be like that. We have to bring ourselves back to a centered state. This world is meant to challenge us. And so we have to initiate the relaxation. Now, what's this got to do with athletics and you on the start line as a sprinter? Well, quite a bit, really, because how you can use these tools as practice tools for when you're on the start line. On the start line is when, and during the race is when you have to be at your best and have your mind and body connected. And the reason best way to get mind and body connected is to actually make sure that you are here now. And you're not allowing all these things to encroach, all these challenges in life to encroach upon us. Once you actually practice these worldly things happening in our world today, and once we start to change our response to those things, then we can address it on the start line. We can address the nerves, the pressure we put on ourselves, the mind overflowing, and see what, making us fearful of what happens if this happens in the race, or what happens if I make a fool of myself in front of people, what happens this and that. So what happens in the world today and everything that is happening, our response to the world, we have to address it with relaxation. We have to initiate relaxation so we can practice it for the start line. Once you do that, the most important time for us as athletes is the start line. And once we've practiced in actually addressing these things that happen in the world today, that we don't understand and that make us angry, once we actually bring and actually change our focus to ourselves and the relaxation, then we can do it for the start line. This has been personally one of my greatest challenges during lockdown, is the response. These things are happening in the world. I've found that I've plenty of things that I've initiated in lockdown that I've prioritized, that I'm happy with. I've focused on other ways of training. I've focused on other words. I've been able to practice relaxation in my running. I've been able to lose a stone in weight. I think it's about 6 kilos. I've been able to do all sorts of things, but one of the things that happens, because we're not allowed out in the UK, that we start to get online more, and I've been starting to get online more and listening to all this happening, and it sent me down a kind of a rabbit hole. And we have to look at this people that we listen to, and luckily I noticed this, and it was making me resentful and angry, and it wasn't helping me. Because once you get resentful and angry, your body becomes weaker. So I've managed to actually recognize this and cut out all that bad media, cut off the television news. I don't listen to the news and the television. I don't listen to much of the stuff on the internet. I only listen to positive affirmations, people that bring positive feelings to me. And I can talk about that, the impact of negative social media on this post here. But you need to look at these things that are happening in the world and address and listen to the things that are bringing positive feelings to us. And that is going to bring about the relaxation. But we've got to, deep down, we've got to recognize that this world is not meant to help us. It's not meant to make us relaxed. We have to initiate the relaxation ourselves. And once you start to see that, then it becomes easier to initiate the relaxation because it becomes a habit. Your mind starts to turn away from these stressful things that make us angry and turn us on to what we want to do with our life. Centered means being relaxed. Centered means bringing focused on us here and now for our betterment of what we want to achieve in sport. So hopefully that video gives you a greater understanding of why we have to initiate the relaxation ourselves. We have to initiate that centered state ourselves. The world won't help us do that. Please like, please share, and see you in the next video.